Success is knocking. No more excuses. It's time to get out of your own way. Share now. We're going live. Amazing people, heroes saving the day, neighbors lending a helping hand, innovators changing the world, business leaders promoting and encouraging business ownership and entrepreneurship. The stories that celebrate our humanity. Welcome to the Lance Jones Show. Now, here is your host, Lance Jones.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I pray you had a successful day and a safe day. I wanted to take a moment to get on this evening and talk about the incident that occurred in Memphis. Yeah, I know. Everybody's talking about it, right? Well, I just wanted to share our perspective, my personal perspective on that issue. Tragic loss. I got asked maybe 6 or 7 times over the last couple of days, Chief, what do you think about it? I have a security company. I have several different businesses. But I'll tell you, this one reached home. I've seen a lot of things. When people say, well, that was tragic. And indeed it was. And indeed is. The loss of any life is tragic. However, this one, to be beaten as a young man was beaten, I always tell everybody, look, be very careful because cameras are everywhere nowadays. There's nowhere you can go and there's not a camera on a light pole, a camera on a car, or somebody with a telephone, whatever it is, guys. It's everywhere. Satellites. They're able to pull satellite images. Go to Google Earth. You'll see that you can pull up time lapses and so on and so forth. So in this day and age, there's no way to hide these things, ladies and gentlemen. But I just wanted to come on and give him my 2 cents, my take on it. People say, well, what, Chief Jones, what do you think? And what happened? Why would they do that? And there's no real rhyme or reason. There's no real rhyme. I sum it up by saying this. When I shared with people my thoughts about this issue, I said, well, it's a tragic loss. We didn't lose just one. We lost 6. Because the young men that were in uniform, these brothers, there was no one there that had the mentality, the astuteness, the maturity, the knowledge, the self-control enough. The sergeant, lieutenant, whoever was on duty, whoever was there that was a ranking member over the other officers, didn't stop these men from beating this young man. Very tragic situation. Evidence that black on black violence is still pervasive, even among those who are supposed to know better. Police officers in the academy are trained on de-escalation. What we saw, and it's my personal opinion, but what we saw was emotion, unchecked, having been engaged. And it's very interesting because it's one thing for a police officer to get engaged and he's in a fisticuff or physical battle with a combatant. In this case, that wasn't the case. The young man certainly wasn't complying. He was, struggling to get his point across, and it would turn over and all this. But in the excitement, someone of rank has to have the mentality to say, wait a minute, relax, young man, just relax. We'll get this sorted out, But the reverse happened, in my opinion. And if you guys, those of you who are watching us from Instagram and our YouTube channel, please like and share our show. because we have many to come. We talked about the gold and silver and the BRICS and the President Biden's issuance of the Executive Order 14067 and how that's going to affect all Americans. But right now, we want to focus on what happened in America, black on black crime. And all of us should be concerned about that, particularly African Americans. Black on black crime is a byproduct of white on black crime. It is a byproduct of improper education. It is a byproduct of lack of knowledge of self, lack of love of self. And these are learned behaviors. As they talk about critical race theories, it is critical. But the leaning, the way that we couch the language relative to critical race theory, how do we internalize that? How do we explain this to the children so that tomorrow we can ward off or head off these type of incidents among our kids? These are young men, police officers who the adrenaline was pumping, right? I get it. And no one there mature enough to say, fall back, relax. You run up on the car saying to the young man, get the fuck out the car, get the hell out the car. Dragging out, who does that? Dragging the young man out the car. Right? Sheer emotion and adrenaline. No supervisor, no sergeant, nobody there, whoever was there of rank over the others, got so involved emotionally himself that he couldn't have the others fall back. He couldn't command them to fall back and just take charge of the situation. A product of black on black self-hatred and violence. In a uniform. They're no different from the young men that are out there in the streets that's doing that every day, the gangbangers. The brothers in the street, I said, it's going to be a big investigation. Big investigation. And then they have to hear is they have to go to prison at some point. If they're found guilty, they'll go to prison. And then they have to deal with that reality. And former officers typically don't fare well in the prison system. I worked in that industry almost 30 years in law enforcement, been a park ranger, federal officer, state officer. So I know what I'm talking about. But at the root of all of this is an internalized self-hatred. So we didn't just lose one, we lost 6. Some self-hatred and lack of control. Very tragic situation. But all of these behaviors and all these mindsets that we saw displayed with these gentlemen, they're products of an educational system that doesn't have their best interests at heart. They're products of, I think it was T.D. Jakes made a comment recently, and you guys can look it up. He said, our women have lost their femininity, and I'm paraphrasing. They're becoming hard and more like men and so on and so forth. That's what he said. And they said that we know you got jobs now and you're making money and you're the bosses and so on and so forth. But he said, if you don't give us as your men some way to help you and step in, and I'm paraphrasing, something that men could do and take our rightful role in your life, then you operate and the family's falling apart because the feminine woman is not there anymore. And I said, okay, dear brother, if you're watching, brother T.D. Jakes, I agree to an extent. But it was this very American system that told our mothers and fathers and grandmothers and fathers that daddy couldn't be in the house if mama got some assistance. And as poor as they were, they had to get us. They had food stamps or whatever it was. There was a time in this country when all of us had our mothers and fathers and lived in our neighborhood. Let's think about the black towns that we had, how we loved each other, and that unity in spending our dollars and our time together boded well for us. We did very well. We built great cities, and others came in and blew them up and set them on fire and killed out our ancestors. So it didn't happen in a vacuum. I think it was planned, because you kept the knowledge of self from us, didn't educate us properly. It gave us a false sense of worship. They gave us the white Jesus. And so all of these, and I'm not being critical of religion or education or any of that. I am saying, however, all of these false concepts and these things that are not positive nor developmental for us works against us. So we could see 5 black brothers in a uniform so outraged over a man who's crying for help. Was it that, and for me, I'm thinking, what triggered that? Was it that the brother was displaying some form of cowardice in calling for mama? And then to reverse the psychology of the men that were beating him was hearing a punk or, this is how this thing works. The psychology of us, how we've been trained to internalize things. Were they once in a gang in a former life many years ago, and the guy was in a rival gang? Who knows what was the fuel that fed that type of anger to your brother? Think about that. Something to think about. The bigger question for African Americans in this country and around the world, where do we go from where we are? This is the Lansdowne Show. Please like and share our show. Catch us on YouTube, Facebook, and all the other social media channels. Support the Jones Group of Businesses. We'd like to get your comments as well. But in this dispensation of time, where do we go from where we are? Men, women, particularly men. There was a time we were the protectors of the community. What happened? We had the Nation of Islam who are still out there doing what they do. We had SNCC. We had the Black Panthers. We would patrol our neighborhoods. How did we become so weak and docile, brothers? How can we let this happen? More importantly, what do we do from where we are? Where do we go from where we are? What do we do from here? We're obligated, black man and woman, to learn to love each other again and chart a new course that our children's children will be able to inherit the new mindset of unity. We spend $1.7 to $1.8 trillion a year in foolishness. And you guys don't just take my word for it, look it up. $1.8 trillion a year in foolishness. Hair and eyelashes and shit. Sneakers. Think about that, man. $1.8 trillion. That makes us 13th to 15th richest nation in the world, if we were a nation. And God has blessed us with a continent of Africa, 12 million square miles. He kissed the earth with everything you need in it. Gold, diamond, manganese, you name it, you have it. And the one thing that we have that we don't have that we need that would turn this whole thing around is unity and love and knowledge of self. Think about that. So our disunity serves who best? Who's winning? How are you feeling in the prisons? How's that happening that you're feeling in the prisons, guys? How are you, the majority of those who are filling the prison? Think about this. Please like and share our show. Tonight, I hope to get into a little bit of critical thinking. Because the men, I know TD said what he said, Reverend, my dear brother TD Jakes, he's right, the sisters have become hard, and man likes some of them, so on and so forth. I get it. However, they didn't do it on their own. They've been made to survive in this world with no man. Think about that. Yeah, she hard hell. She had to climb the corporate ladder. And in doing so, she had to fight intellectually. She had to go in the military, they get hard. Whatever it is, she didn't do it by herself. She was made that way to survive in a cruel world and survive and make a way for her children that she's raising by herself. So it is up to us to change this narrative, brothers. Or die. I'm talking to, this is family talk. So please like and share. Tell them to come on the YouTube channel, The Lance Jones Show. Instagram, The Lance Jones Show. Please like and share. Tell the brothers to come on, and we need to have a family conversation. Yeah, it's time. We can no longer allow black brothers, young brothers, to kill each other without us going and say something to them. I thank Captain Dennis Muhammad and the peacekeepers for their community work. They go into the streets, into those communities. Look up that organization, brothers. Join it. They go in and they get the gangbangers and shut them down. I was part of them. I go there and we brought them to the barbershop. We gave free haircuts and we talked to them about their disunity. We got to make black men brothers again. And anything that would disrupt that, anything that would disrupt our unity, anyone who would hurt our sisters and our children in our neighborhoods is an enemy to us. Now, I don't care who you tell. Listen, it is what it is. I'm a black man. I can't help. I'm too damn old now. But I want us to be mindful of the day and the hour which we live. Do you know anything about the BRICS? Do you know anything about the Executive Order 14067 I just finished talking about on the YouTube channel? What is Brazil, Russia, China, South Africa? What are they all doing? Why have they come together and form a new currency that under the yuan, the digital yuan of China, form a new relationship that does not include America? Why are they building new roadways to connect those nations together without any participation of America? Maritime ways to connect those nations together without America. Why does Saudi Arabia, and this is all related to black on black crime and black police, all this stuff is really because it affects African Americans. Why? I know, quiet out there. I pray I'm saying something that you all, don't be mad at me now. I'm your brother, I love you. But we got to make a change in this country. No, it's not enough just to get, I have a degree, doctor's degree and all that, I get it. Yeah. I know many of you, the academia, master's degree, Negroes, and I get it. I'm not making mockery of it. But once you get the knowledge, are you able to parlay something for your people, your family? It's not just enough that you make some money. What about our community? What will we look like in 25 years? We know we're the minority. God has kissed us. We have the minority in America. Probably the minority. They say that in the next, by 2045, Caucasian will be the minority in America. That blacks and Latinos will be the majorities. Are you ready? Are you ready to run a nation? Change the laws that fit everyone and not just a few? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. But it'll be worth it. God has kissed us to the degree that our fathers came over in ships. Many died, had all kinds of crap going on, thrown overboard, fried, burnt, shot in front of the children, hung. Used to have picnics. I'm just having a family discussion with brothers and sisters who know what I'm talking about. Now, this is not for you. May God bless you, Allah bless you, Elohim bless you, whatever you believe in. But you're going to face this in a family member or a neighbor. And if we don't get our acts together in unity and recognize that I need what you need what the next brother and sister needs, and we're brother and sister of each other, we're not enemies of each other. So please like and share at this time. I won't be with you long, but I got to be strong. I have a choice. I want to share with you my spirit on some of these things that's going on in our neighborhood. Certainly, we can talk about finances. We can talk about silver and gold and bullions and all this kind of stuff. And you're going to need that. When they bring up the new digital currency here in the U.S., to be able to spy on your purchases, you want to make a donation to whatever group, and they can deny it with a push of a button because it's not consistent with their worldview. We don't know any of this stuff. We're not even studying this crap. Yet we fuel it with $1.8 trillion a year in spending to other communities. Oh, this is a new kind of slavery, brothers, sisters. We're going to have to get our acts together. Please like and share the Lance Jones Show. Visit us at www.lancejoneshow.com. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And please comment. I'd like to hear what you have to say about what I'm saying. Yeah. But I recognize we're at a crossroads in our community, in the Black community. We're at a crossroads. Well, you're either going to chart a new course, one that I love you because you're my brother, you're my blood of my blood, skin of my skin. What I want, you want. What I need, you need. It doesn't mean that we be mean to everybody else. It got nothing to do with it. This is about our business, clean up our house. How the hell did we let this thing get so far? Young brothers kill each other. We don't go. Whatever happened to the old days, man? We fell asleep. Well, it's time to wake up. I don't be too harsh on us. I'm talking to myself too. I was a different type of officer, though. I loved us. Gave opportunities where I could, without breaking the laws and letting it, those who didn't necessarily like me come against me, and they did, and I fought 3 states, and I won 3 times. So let us get rid of the cowardice, dear brothers. Fight with those who fight with you in like manner. If your brother comes at you, then you take low. And I do it all the time. Those who know me, you all tell them. They can testify and tell them, look, brother, if I have offended you, I apologize, man. I sincerely apologize if I've offended you. However, we got to get on with the business, so whatever it is. If you insist on fighting and wanting to kill and all that, brother, take law. This is not all. I'll leave, brother. Thank you. Or you want to be just ignorant because you got both of y'all got testosterone flowing heavy. Now you want to buck each other, huh? And then the system wins, and your mother lose, your father lose, your children lose because the 5 officers beating one brother felt like they were Superman. That's a new kind of ignorance, brother. But it's the self-hatred we've seen far too long. And so unite with the peacekeepers and other groups that are working on rewriting our narrative, that are building bridges like the bricks are building roadways toward each other. Let us do that. Please like and share and comment on what you're hearing. I need to know what you guys are thinking. If I'm on the right track, if I'm on the wrong track, just let me know. I'll clean it up. If I'm too harsh, I'm like, a father. I got 4 boys. I talked to them when they were brought up the same way. I don't change. I taught them how to love their brothers and sisters and be fair and just and apologize when you screw up. This is the basis of our community. That's what we used to do. Mom and them went to church and went to the mosque or whatever the faith tradition was, brothers and sisters. We have to get back to some of that, but in a modern time. Otherwise, we sentence our children and children's children to ignominy, ignorance, death. Look at the government. You guys smoking that stuff nowadays? You got a CBD store near you? I'm just asking. Oh, I don't smoke that. Now, you got all those brothers in prison for selling marijuana right now. And now the government's selling it at a store near you. Think about that. You go to a store in North Carolina, wherever you at, North Carolina, New York, whatever you at. Get some CBD, smoke it. I checked it out. I went and saw this. I couldn't believe my eyes. All those brothers in prison for selling it. Now the government's involved and it's legal. I said, well, let them all out then. That's justice. Wow. But they want you to sleep. So if you're smoking that crap and getting high and getting drunk and all that, they want you to sleep so they can continue to take over as we go into this next industrial revolution. Where are we? Are you at the World Economic Forums? What do they talk about there? I know you don't know. But my prayer is that you would take a look at that and begin to study so that we can change our community. There's no reason. Listen, America and other countries should be calling us to negotiate with us in what goes on in Africa. We don't just one person get $1 million, move to France and get a big old house and so on and so forth. So we got a problem, Black folks. We got a small problem that we could change. Adversity is the mother of skill, of change. We have a great opportunity to rewrite our narrative in this country. We have a great opportunity to stand on the shoulders of our mothers and fathers and grandma and great-grandma, all the crap that they went through. They couldn't go to the colleges back then. They couldn't get degrees and all this crap. They gave them a Bible, a white Jesus, and so on and so forth. I'm not making fun of Jesus now. I'm giving you an example of what our people had to go through. That's why it's now on our shoulders to change the narrative, to rewrite it, to bring it up to the modern time, whatever your faith tradition is. But we must move as a unit. The money in our community lasts less than 24 hours. How long does it stay in the other communities, Jewish and otherwise? Why are they so rich? Because when the Jew man needs an insurance company, he goes to a Jewish insurance company. When he needs a car, he goes to a Jewish car dealership. These groceries, he goes to the Jewish grocery store. So the money stays 30 and 40 and 60 and 90 days in their community. And we spend 1.8 trillion. How much of that goes to a black retailer or wholesaler? Who does your insurance for your business? Who has your insurance on your car, your home, your apartment? Where do you buy your groceries? See, we have to renew our mind. Our thinking has to be renewed if we're to survive. And only a fool will sentence their children and their children's children to death. And that's what it is, death. Mental, emotional, and financial death, brothers and sisters. We must always be working to improve ourselves. Now, others won't like that because they say, well, wow, these people come in power and we're minorities. They become minorities. I hear it. I know. I get it. But you prepare. Our fathers told us what to do. They patrolled the neighborhood, Black Panthers. What happened at the Million Man March? They want to write that off. What happened in 1995? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? You heard that song, Mama, when I used to sing it. My father, Reverend Boyd Cantrell, God rest his soul, very instrumental in that space. And so I encourage all of us to remember whose shoulder we're standing on, brothers and sisters. And let's take our rightful place in this dispensation of time. Let's find groups and organizations we can unite with to make our communities better. Let's go out and talk to the young brothers and sisters who are feuding one with another over nothing. It's my neighborhood. It's my neighborhood. No? But you don't own anything in the neighborhood. Nary house. You don't own nothing. But ready to kill because you say somebody walking in your neighborhood. Think about this. So this is where we are in this dispensation of time. Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Our loss of our brother, Tyre Nichols. May God be pleased with him and give his mother peace. That his life was not taken in vain. But we all learn from it what self-hatred does. Not just for one mother. I like the chief of police when she said, yeah, I'm the chief of police, but I'm a mother too. And she began to shed a tear. Huh? It's okay you wear the uniform. I know you're the police chief, and I get it. I deal with it now. I deal with it. Everybody thinks that I get it. But you're Black first. And we must strive toward excellence in all that we do. And we have the right to protect our families and our communities, brothers and sisters. You have to ask nobody nothing. I'm part of a police union as a president, chapter president of a police union, that when they were working in the 50s, 60s, they couldn't carry guns in white neighborhoods, if at all. And now in 2023, we wearing the guns and the uniform and killing each other. Wow. How did that happen? So let us check ourselves when it comes to our brothers and sisters. We can no longer afford to get so emotional, particularly if you're a professional police officer, military, whatever it is. You're a police officer, correctional officer, you must know how to take low. You must know verbal judo. You must know how to handle these situations so it doesn't de-escalate. You must learn to de-escalate situations so that we don't kill each other in our anger and our rage. I hope I'm making sense. I'm saying it far too much. You know? And so please like and share our channels and support our businesses. If you are traveling, you'll see it down in the credits. Jones Worldwide.globaltravel.com and our many other businesses. Visit our security company, www.safesecureworldwide.com. If you need security, executive protection, whatever services you need, the Jones Group of Family Businesses can assist you. Just visit our website, www.safesecureworldwide.com. Please comment on the show. I would love your feedback. I know I went in kind of heavy this evening on this situation, but it touched my heart to see my brother yelling and get out, and nobody wise enough to realize or try to talk to brothers that their comrades down, their co-workers down, just say, just chill out, chill, let them up. But to drag them, see, that was adrenaline, raw adrenaline, and just having been trained as they've been trained, and they just, I'm an officer, I'm no longer a black man, I'm the police. No, you are a fool. An emotional fool, son. But I hope others will learn from your mistake, and I hope God will forgive you, and the family will forgive you. And I hope that you will be born anew now, with a renewed mind and a renewed spirit towards your people, even in uniform. So that we don't make these mistakes again. We need each other, family. So please, support the channel, spread the word. We want to advertise in our channel. Please visit our website, our YouTube channel, and thelastjonesshow.com, and our many other businesses. We're very blessed and happy to be able to offer services of many kinds. And so please support us. If you have any questions, want to advertise, please go to thelastjonesshow.com, and you can find that information out there. Send us your emails, Lance@LanceJonesSeniorSR.com, Lance@LanceJonesSR.com. And we'll look forward to talking to you next time. Until then, be blessed. Have a safe and secure week. Peace.